Hey guys, welcome back to another review on the channel. Today I will be doing my ranking of all of Scooby-Doo Season 2 episodes. So yeah, this is just my opinion. Feel free to comment down your opinion down below. I'm pretty interested to hear you guys' opinions on the series. Seeming mine's pretty controversial compared to lots of other people's, that's for sure. And yeah, I'm going from my least favourite to my favourite. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Starting with in 8th, I've got Don't Fool with a Phantom. Now, this is probably most people's least favourite. The reasons why, I'm not a fan of the wax Phantom design like most people. Though there are a few cool moments in this episode. Mr. Grisby's a great character, that's for sure. They do have some spookiness in this episode, but not a lot of spookiness, which is probably why this episode falls in 8th position overall. And yeah, look, just another few other reasonings. Nothing really special about this one. Pretty boring at times as well. And yeah, just my 8th favourite. Now, in 7th, I've got a Tiki Scare Is No Fair. And don't get me wrong, the Witch Doctor's pretty great. Love the character, it's fantastic. Mano Tiki T is also pretty cool. But yeah, just the episode overall, the structure of it wasn't great, that's for sure. I did mention that in my individual review of the episode as well. It would have been nice to see more of the Haunted Village, that's for sure, because that was very, very spooky. I feel like the episode got spooky then, and only then, which was a bit of a letdown for it. It was also the only episode in this series that didn't have a soundtrack, which disappointed most, and especially me. And yeah, look, it's just not a great episode. Jumping around a little bit. Yeah, it's just not my favourite. But I don't hate it. 6th spot, again, pretty controversial. Scooby's Night with a Frozen Fright. Most people have this one at their least favourite, or at least 7th. I've got it in 6th for me, and that's mainly due to nostalgia for this one. I don't really have much of an opinion on the caveman, but I do have lots of nostalgia when watching this episode, and that's always great. Always good to have a bit of nostalgia when watching a Scooby-Doo episode, that's for sure. Yeah, not too much of a reasoning, to be honest, why I had this one above the two below it. I do prefer the episode. I feel like it's better paced, gets more spooky at times. I feel like the characters were actually good, unlike the characters, apart from Mr. Grisby and the Wax Phantom, from below. But yeah, look, it's still another pretty good episode, but yeah, not any higher. In 5th spot, I have Mystery Mask Mix-Up. Now, again, with this one, I didn't really like Zentool, probably one of my least favourite villains out of the whole of Scooby-Doo. But the Scare Pair, the complete opposite. They were fantastic. They were very, very spooky. The episode was definitely pretty spooky when they were around. I really do like them chasing the gang around China in this one, especially in the first half. I didn't really like the second half of the episode as much. Definitely started to go for more comedy than spookiness at the end as well, which it's not bad. It's just not preferable, because you'd prefer spookiness over comedy, I guess. I think that's what most Scooby fans would like. A pretty controversial ranking for it, but yeah, just right now it's in 5th. Because opinions always change. That's the thing about Scooby-Doo. I feel like most people would agree with me. Opinions always change. I've had this one come first, maybe not first, but 2nd, 3rd, 7th, 8th. It jumps all over the place. And it's very, very, very hard to rank 8 episodes. Believe me, it's way harder than it looks. I've had a good long think about all of my positions, that's for sure. Coming in 4th spot is Haunted House Hang-Up. This one was pretty cool. The Head of the Spectre was a great villain. The only real problem that I actually had with this one was the phony Phantom and the reveal at the end of the culprit. I don't quite remember his name now, but the culprit was just, he's chasing away the gang and anyone else who is after his fortune, which is still pretty cool, but he was actually a bit confused, and in the end, and it didn't really make too much sense to me. I feel like he was still pretty big part of it and shouldn't really be doing that, but I would have just preferred him being the bad guy and trying to steal something. It just would have been a little bit better, and yeah, just wanted a little bit more characters maybe for this one. But yeah, it's still a pretty cool episode, pretty spooky as well, which is always good. Now, third spot, this one surprised me, and will probably surprise a lot of you guys as well, and that's Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Werewolf? I obviously did give it a 10 out of 10 in my individual review, which is up on the channel. Go check it out. But yeah, it still kind of surprised me. I didn't realise I'd give this one a perfect ranking, because it's definitely not perfect, that's for sure. The ghost werewolf was actually really, really cool. It's no Be Cool Scooby-Doo werewolf, that's for sure. That's a fantastic werewolf, but it's still a pretty cool werewolf. Werewolves are always my favourite monster, and yeah, this one being a ghost was actually pretty cool. And yeah, the first half of the episode was very, very spooky. Started off nice, and then it lost its way a little bit. It kind of picked its way up a bit in a way, but not massively, which is pretty disappointing. It's definitely not a perfect episode. I gave it a perfect review in my individual review, which I do feel like is a bit generous, especially for the episode that did have a bit of flaws. Obviously, what happened in the reveal when we didn't even get to see the culprit during the episode, only at the end. And that's for sure. The plot was very, very interesting. Bit of a twist, very, very unique. And it's good and bad. It's definitely very unique in good ways and bad ways, that's for sure. Mostly good ways. But there were a few bad points, that's for sure. Definitely not a perfect episode, but third spot, pretty cool. Second, another great one, definitely perfect, Nowhere to Hide. Fantastic villain, sensational. Nowhere to Hide had such a great villain in The Ghost of Hyde. The episode was very, very spooky, had one of the best intros of a Scooby-Doo episode I can think of at the moment, definitely one of the best. But yeah, again, the reason why it's not first is probably because, there's a few points that probably keep it from first. It's still a perfect episode, in my opinion. It's just, it would have been nice to have a little bit more of an idea of like characters. And there were a few things that were definitely out of place, I felt like. And yeah, look, I still love the episode. 10 out of 10, that's for sure. I'm trying to pick out some flaws here, because it's definitely not my number one favourite. Yeah, Dr. Jekyll, not a great character, to be honest. I thought I'd like him, but yeah, he doesn't really do it for me, to be honest. And the only other person we see is Helga. We barely even see her at all, so come on. It's also pretty obvious that it was Dr. Jekyll, but they're just minor flaws. When you really think about it, it has nothing to do with the episode, apart from Dr. Jekyll being not that great, in my opinion. Wasn't a fan of him. But I do see why they did incorporate him. But anyways, I'm gibbering here and jabbling. Number one is pretty obvious to most people now. Jeepers, it's the Creeper. It's most people's favourite. Maybe not out of the whole Scooby-Doo, are you? But yeah, definitely for me. The Creeper, you just can't beat it. Just an amazing design, such an incredible villain. Yeah, the episode was nice paced, very, very spooky, very, very entertaining, which was pretty good seeming at. It actually kept a pretty consistent amounts of entertainment in this one, which is always a positive. And yeah, just a spectacular episode. And I feel like it needs even more love. I know it gets a lot of love, but I feel like it deserves a little bit more love from most fans. The Creeper, just fantastic. You just can't beat him. He's just faultless. He's so creepy looking. The way he's going for the paper. He's got that little evil like look, and the way he just moves. It's very, very weird, but it's also just fantastic. Very, very creepy, that's for sure. It's great to see the gang hanging out with other teenagers as well. That little barn dance is pretty cool. And yeah, just a fantastic episode. I hope you guys enjoyed my ranking of all of Scooby-Doo Season 2 episodes. Stay tuned for my next review coming out tomorrow on the channel.